Along the Way by Lee Robinson of Bundanoon 2578. Narrated by David Tredinnick. Finally, Western Australia reopened its borders, and Layla and Jeffrey could complete their lap of Australia. Their travels so far had been inhibited by COVID regulations, flooding, and family obligations. After their third jab, they looked forward to exploring more of this rugged country. Somewhat smug, they had purchased their luxurious home on wheels just before the excrement hit the fan, as Jeffrey put it. Their new Merc was modern and sleek and would suit their needs perfectly. In a quiet protest at poor customer service, Jeffrey had painstakingly removed all the company logos using Layla's hairdryer. Layla was quietly pleased that she could fit through the bathroom door, even if it meant that she had to turn sideways. Being a list writer, Layla prepared for the trip of indeterminate length with lots of pieces of paper. Not wanting to decimate a forest, Layla scribbled her lists on previously used scraps. It gave her pleasure to cross out items as they were packed and prepared. The fact that she now had to use the largest packing cube for her underwear was cause for only momentary dismay. In Dubbo, they cycled around the zoo under their own steam, and at Cobar, a waterhole became a sought-after pleasure. The cool water washed the dust of the mining town off their flushed skin. They discovered the delights of sunsets, where the horizon stretched forever, and where the chattering of birds heralded the coming of dusk. Layla and Jeffrey felt safe in their van and were always careful to lock up their possessions. They had an agreed plan of escape should danger befall them. The rapidly increasing cost of diesel was perhaps the only thing that cast a shadow across their travels. Jeffrey tried not to be too smug about their fuel usage and the ease of setup of their van compared to the caravanners. Jeffrey was a minimalist. He liked to travel light and marvelled at how much stuff others seemed to need, including 2 kitchen sinks. He watched with amusement as others took hours to set up camp. Layla and Jeffrey would roll into a rest area, park, turn their seats around, and were ready for drinkies. Somewhere along the way, Layla came up with a brilliant new idea for a list. She excitedly explained to Jeffrey that she would start writing down her travel tips, a legacy of their years of experience. "I'm going to call it Layla's Lessons Learned," she stated confidently. However, once she said it out loud, she wasn't so sure. "Oh well, that can be the working title till I think of something better." "That's a good idea, dear," said Jeffrey, rather vacantly. Layla's list grew steadily as they marvelled at the beauty along the way. Never listen when someone, no matter how knowledgeable they seem, suggests that the dirt road way is quicker. Do anything, cooking, shopping, cleaning, washing, instead of emptying the toilet. Despite the vagaries of technology, they obtained their border pass to cross into WA. If only obtaining alcohol for their journey had been so simple. Sandy soil changed to paprika-coloured earth that had a way of exerting itself on everything around it. Concrete, roofs and vehicles all became red. Man-made structures became like nature as they merged into one, and the red soil pervaded thongs, feet and skin. A termite mound moved to reveal it was, in fact, a camel. It stood slowly, colour-coordinated with the landscape. Harshness and serenity exist in equal portions in the outback. The heat tugs at you through the middle of the day and then releases its grip as the day cools and the serenity pulls a little harder. Beaded seat covers are great for airflow, but make your legs look like you have more cellulite than you actually do. A folded-up towel does the trick. The concept of drinkies appears to be nationwide. Somewhere along the extensive coastline, Layla confessed that she'd seen so much beauty that she had almost reached a state of coastal complacency. "You're feeling jaded about the colour of the water, are you?" Jeffrey smirked with a quizzical look. Yes, and I'm getting stone-faced about amazing rock formations, and my interest in Xanthorrhea has spiked. Oh no, it has dawned on me that I'm getting complacent about beautiful sunrises. Layla and Geoffrey impressed themselves with their own wittiness. About Broome, the distance to home started getting shorter. The long days of driving were taking their toll on the tyres. A smiling caravan traveller waved them into a spot near him in the crowded rest area. Layla and Geoffrey did not usually socialise, but these people seemed friendly, and their fire did look inviting. Geoffrey secretly marvelled at how much stuff they were carrying. However, as they produced two comfortable, padded chairs and delicious chilled drinks from their spare refrigerator, his opinion was gently swayed. "Your tyre there looks a bit how you going?" their new friend Neil pointed out to them. With dismay, they saw that the last 1,000 kilometres had caused the front passenger side tyre to be completely stuffed, as Neil had declared. "I'll give you a hand to change it in the morning." As Neil detailed all the handy things he carried with him to make the job easier, Geoffrey began to see some advantage to all this extra stuff. As Layla chatted with Jan and stared into the flickering fire, a realisation dawned on her. She quietly rose from her seat and rummaged around in the van. She emerged carrying her list and promptly threw it into the fire. "What are you up to, love?" Geoffrey asked with a hint of concern in his voice. "Oh, nothing, Geoffrey. I just had an epiphany." Layla smiled to herself as she pondered on her realisation. "We're all in this journey of life together," she thought. "We're all making our own way, in our own way, and the lessons are our own to learn along the way." The end.